Why, hello there. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me on my stream this evening. Um, if you're watching from YouTube, please like and subscribe and hit that bell so that you don't miss any of my upcoming streams. And if you're watching from kick.com, please hit that follow and you won't miss any streams. I appreciate it. Before we get into all of the news that's going on today, let's throw up our disclaimer. The opinions expressed during this stream are my own and are shared for informational and discussion purposes only. There we go. Glad we remembered to get that out of the way this evening. I forgot last stream, and we did it towards the end. That's okay. It still went up. So it feels like the Republican Party is imploding right now because of all of these documents that have been released. So I was looking through the timeline today and um, just looking at the documents that have been released, and the Democratic, oh, thank you. The Democratic Oversight Committee released 3 different email documents, which we will take a look at tonight, as well as the Republicans released 20,000 documents. And I actually have that Google Drive pulled up with those documents in right now, and we're going to take a look at a few. But what I did forget to do is pull up the emails. So let me see if I can get that real quick. I think it was on PBS that we got a chance. See the emails at this link. Here we go. This makes it so much better. Okay. Perfect. All right, let's put it back on comments so I can see if you guys are talking. And we're gonna add we're gonna look at the emails, the emails first, and then we'll dive into the Google Drive. Now, there have been a lot of people, MAGA, that are trying to somehow justify all of this stuff. And there was one rather, well, two statements made by Megyn Kelly, which are just absolutely outrageous because the way that these people are trying to protect and justify Trump being with underage girls is just completely disgusting. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, a family member, a friend. If you are hurting children and having sex with children under the age of 18, you are a pedo. It doesn't matter if they're 17. It doesn't matter if they're 7. A child is a child, and it's not okay. And the fact that MAGA is trying to justify this is absolutely disgusting, and it shows you their lack of morals. Because you can absolutely know that 100%. If this was a Democrat that this came out about, they would be flying off the rails about it and screaming from the rooftops, "Jail, jail, jail." But because it's one of their own and it's their orange man in chief, yeah, they're finding ways to kinda justify it. So Megyn Kelly actually, I'm gonna pull up let me take down the emails for a sec, and I'm gonna pull up this little, let's share where, um, stop screen. Okay, let's try. Here we go. I had to pull up my own YouTube account so that everybody could see it. So Megyn Kelly, in her own words, said he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls. He wasn't into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types that could pass for even younger than they were, but would look legal to a passerby. I'm sorry, but 15 is not legal. It's still a child. It still makes him a predator and a pedo. Just because it wasn't an 8-year-old, like there's no cutoff here. 15 is still a child. And then we have yet to see anybody come forward and say, I was under 10. I was under 14 when I first came into his purview. And I think there's a difference. There's a difference between a 50-year-old and a 5-year-old, you know? Like that she's justifying pedophilia because it's Trump. And that is just I'm sorry, what? What? Like, I'm sorry, what? 14, 15, still a child, still not okay, still illegal, and still makes you a pedo. I'm sorry, but that is the truth. I'm sorry. Like, I don't understand MAGA's logic here and how they will sit and justify anything that Trump does. She's talking about him liking 15-year-old girls and trying to make it okay. This woman should lose her career for saying shit like that and trying to protect a pedophile. I'm sorry, but that's just awful. That is awful. And MAGA's disgusting. It really is. My gosh. Okay. Let's look let's look at the emails. There we go. Can you guys see that okay? I'm going to change the size on it here a little bit. There we go. Because it is very tiny and I'm getting old. So reading tiny text is a little troubling. Okay, so this one was sent on 4/2/2011. Um, so I'm assuming this is from Giselle um to Epstein. Yeah, Epstein. And so the email said, I want you to realize that that dog has not barked. I want you to realize that that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. The victim's name has been redacted, thankfully. Spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Police chief, etc. I'm 75% there. And then she replies, I have been thinking about that. So here he's basically saying that Trump spent hours with the victim at a house. And I get the impression that he's confident that Trump is not going to rat him out. I don't know. Okay, so here's another one sent to Michael Wolf. Um, the victim's name and then Mar-a-Lago. So from what I understand from this particular email is that the girl was trafficked directly from Mar-a-Lago because of Trump's interest in her. Trump said he asked me to resign, never a member ever. Of course, he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop. So I'm assuming that because see, this was 2019, so Trump was president at the time, and this would have been around his conviction time, I believe, or slightly before. And he wasn't a member of Mar-a-Lago, basically. And this to me says that Trump is trying to distance himself from Epstein because of all the legal problems that Epstein was having at the time. But they were buddy buddy. They were very buddy buddy. And Epstein knew that he had dirt on Trump, and from what I've heard, was planning to use it. So this leads us to believe that Trump may have been behind Epstein's death. I mean, not out of the realm of possibilities with all of this information coming out. All right, and then this is from Michael Wolff to Epstein. Um, so, okay, here we go. So this was in 2015. So this would have been um while he was campaigning for president, not when he was elected. So he wrote, I hear CNN planning to ask Trump tonight about his relationship with you, either on air or in Scrum afterwards. I don't know what Scrum is. And then Epstein replied, if we were able to craft an answer for him, what do you think it should be? So now they're trying to cook up what Trump should say to the press about their relationship. I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the House, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. If it really looks like he could win, you could save him generating a debt. Of course, it's possible that when asked, he'll say Jeffrey was a great guy and has gotten a raw deal and is a victim of political correctness, which is to be outlawed in the Trump regime. So they're basically talking about blackmailing Trump with the information that they have on him. That's all pretty damning as well. Doesn't look good for Trump at all. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty of this Google Doc or Google, yeah, Google Docs. All right, so no, we don't want to do that. We want to go here, stop screen. Let's pull up the Google Docs. Where is it? Epstein documents. There we go. Boop. All right, so we have, how did I ump them up on the screen? I gotta make sure that you guys can see everything. There we go. That's better. Okay. Close out the emails for now. So we have data, images, natives. I don't know what that is, and text. So let's look what we got in here first. House oversight, house oversight. This is a document of some sort. Okay, so there's nothing in there that we can see. No. Okay. Nothing in there. What is in images? Let's take a look. Holy shit. That's a lot of pictures. All right, let's take a look. So this looks like a documentary or a book about Epstein. Okay. Oh, this is Epstein's book with all his pictures. One of the photographs captured on video is during the Palm Beach Police Department search warrant walkthrough of Epstein's El Brillo Way residence. He's not an attractive man, is he? Is there pictures? Oh, yep. Look right there. Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump, and newly signed Trump model. Okay, no name. Attending the Victoria's Secret Angels party at Laura Bell. I'm sorry, I'm like, because I'm blind. On April 8th, 1997. So there he is with Epstein in 1997. Best buddies. There's New York. I don't see any other picture of Trump here. That looks like it's possibly a victim. There's him and Ghislaine. My goodness. There's a lot here, man. Obviously, it's not all going to contain Trump stuff, because we know that Epstein canoodled with. Oh, this is all the same stuff. These documents that are in this Google Drive is what supposedly was released by the Republicans. So the Democratic Oversight Committee released 3 emails, and then, the same day or the day after is when, the Republicans released these files. So is this oh, this looks like it's the book. Yeah, this is the book all documented. Why would you take pictures of the book and just put the book in evidence? Why do you need photos of the book? Okay, so what is this? Okay. Via Federal Express and email. This, we represent in reference to her claims against Jeffrey Epstein for childhood sexual abuse, which occurred in New York City when she was blank years old. I'm really happy that they have redacted the victims' information and names and stuff from this. Um, just out of respect, that just feels like the right thing to do, honestly. New York recently passed the Child Victims Act, which creates a 1-year window for claims where the statute of limitations has expired. Therefore, will be able to sue Mr. Epstein for the sexual abuse which she experienced when she was a minor. She was born in on a town. Let's see. Yeah, that's her history there. Oh, so she wasn't from the U.S. She was from overseas. She fled her hometown, traveling through war zones on foot with her family in a stream of refugees. Her family settled outside of with no money. Her family lived together in one room, sharing a bathroom with other families. Her parents eventually found low paying, unskilled jobs. Their only clothing was what was provided to them by the Red Cross. Um, hmm. So this is just describing her. She learned about a talent search for models and persuaded her mother to take her. She was a huge success and began modeling at the age of 14. Though her parents disparaged her for marketing her appearance, they allowed her to work because she earned more than their combined income. At 16, she moved to New York City to model. She lived in an apartment for models with 1 or 2 roommates and no adult on the premises. Her father was deeply ashamed of her because he disapproved of her profession and her parents distanced themselves. But I'm sure that they appreciated her money. Days were hectic. She worked with top tier clients and for DNA Modeling Agency, a well known agency representing supermodels such as Linda Evangelista and Natalia Vodinova. I apologize if I pronounced that wrong. She was innocent and inexperienced prior to meeting Mr. Epstein. At 16, she experienced her first kiss. The director of a perfume campaign, Fabian Baron, wanted a kiss at the end of a commercial as a finale to the perfume ad. She dreaded her parents' reaction to seeing the commercial. She was raised in the Orthodox Christian church where abstinence was encouraged. And then, yeah, it reiterates that she met Epstein when she was 16. Um, he was friends with former President Bill Clinton, the president who made it possible for and her family to immigrate to America. Um, Mr. Epstein, when she told Mr. Epstein how her family came to America, Mr. Epstein said that he would personally thank Bill for her. He toted other impressive connections. He made it known that he had a list of celebrities on speed dial. Well, hopefully we can find out who all they are. Um, okay, so she was estranged from her family. So she was a very vulnerable position because she was in a new country. She was working a job. And if he's doting on her and giving her attention, I mean, feeling as alone as I'm sure she probably did, she probably gravitated towards that because she was young. She was 16 years old. Why wouldn't she? Would she why would she suspect that anything bad was going to happen? So Mr. Epstein told her that he was on the board of directors at Harvard University. He promised that once she took her SATs and obtained the scores that she needed, he would write a letter of recommendation for her, which he said would carry significant weight with regard to her admission. Her dream was to establish herself as a successful model and to one day graduate from Harvard. Mr. Epstein made her feel everything she wanted was possible. So, yeah, of course, if you're going to, you know, hype up a kid like that, she's going to trust easily because she's a kid. We were all young and dumb once. And I noticed that I pay attention to that stuff with my child right now. She's 10, and she believes everybody at their word. We have had numerous discussions about, the fact that people lie, they're dishonest, that, we can't believe everything that we read on the internet. We can't believe that everything that everybody tells us because there are dishonest people out there. But that is just something that comes with innocence, right? Nativity or nativity naivety of not knowing any better, right? Because she's just a kid. She's 16 years old. um so she confided in Epstein that she had never had a boyfriend. He told her everything would fall into place. Just keep doing what you're doing, work hard and stay focused. And she told Mr. Epstein that she preferred to abstain from sex until she was married. Why are they talking about sex in the first place? She's 16. Oh, we're gonna oh The first time she was asked for a massage was to help him with an ache in his shoulder. She thought it was an innocent request. He said his masseuses had failed to get a kink in his shoulder. He gave her a large purple massager for her to use to take the knot out of his back. He told her that she was an excellent masseuse and she was pleased to be able to ease his pain. So when we're talking about grooming, this is grooming. This is 100% what grooming is. He's earning her trust. He's praising her. He's making her all kinds of promises. And he's conditioning her to think that this kind of stuff is normal when it's not. When the massage ended, Epstein pulled out $200 bills from his wallet and handed it to her. I was going to give it to the masseuse anyway if you take it and pay for your car service or something. He began calling her every day, no matter where she was in the world. He told her he loved her. He became a vital part of her world as her parents remained distant. So, again, preying on the vulnerable. He invited her to stay at one of his apartments close to him on the Upper East Side. Her arduous work schedule starting at 6 a.m., call times and shows running late into the evening were exhausting. Epstein's daily checkup calls and pep talks gave her the strength to survive her grinding schedule. So, again, more grooming. He's stepping up into that place of what he was filling that void that her parents had left. Um, and again, hyping her up, she's going to trust him easily because, again, she's just a kid. When in Paris, he allowed her to stay at his home with her sister and arranged for a night out at a concert for Naomi Campbell. It appeared to her that Mr. Epstein's thoughts were focused on her career, future, and good fortune. Oh, we know that's not true. Um, the first time the purple massage tool found its way between, she told him to stop, but he pushed the head. Oh, okay. We're not going to read all of that out loud. Um, wow. So basically, he's forcing her. That's hard to read. Um, the massages became ritual and always accompanied with sexual abuse and $200 payments at the end. So he's basically treating her like a prostitute. And I think maybe at this point, because she's feeling ashamed and embarrassed, she's starting to realize that this is wrong. Um, he approached her and asked her if he was her mentor and teacher, teaching her about sexuality and opening her eyes. She obviously, oh my goodness. Okay, so she climaxed and then felt shame and fear because, I mean, that's kind of confusing, right? She felt claustrophobia when as she stared up into Mr. Epstein's church-like ceiling of the massage parlor where he fondled her. She felt she couldn't escape her position and that this was the way it had to be because this powerful man orchestrated it. So basically feeling like she has no other choice but to do this, which is textbook behavior from abusers. She felt she couldn't escape her position, and this is the way that it had to be. The end of each massage, he would make himself ejaculate by demanding she pay vigorous attention to his nipples with hers, and he would tell her what a good girl she was, that he loved her, and he would call her later, which made everything seem better. Then he would open his wallet with $100 bills and give her a couple, and she accepted the pocket money, never thinking twice about it. So she's obviously having thoughts, very confusing thoughts about this, thinking that she doesn't have any other choice. And he's fully taking advantage of the fact that she's vulnerable and mostly alone. Um, and it's kind of confusing because she doesn't have anyone to guide her and tell her that this is wrong, right? And unfortunately, when you're that young, there's a lot of things that you don't realize that are young. Teenagers are stupid and they don't have the life experience. So, I mean, what else was she supposed to think, right? Like, this is not her fault. He's putting her in this position, and because he's taking advantage of the fact that she doesn't know any better. Um, she thought that this is what it meant to become a woman. She was both thrilled and ashamed. She followed the path that Epstein had set out for her because he said if she trusted him and did what he told her to do, everything would go according to his plan and her career would soar. Without him, the world was a scary and unpredictable place. Again, more grooming. When she was with him, she felt everything was right because of how much love and care she received from him. She started to think and believe that they would be together and he would marry her. Oh, wow. He kept using the massager on her. She felt lost, overwhelmed, and out of control. Yeah, I can understand that. Oh, okay. Apparently, he's putting things in her mouth, and she did what she was told. I didn't realize that he took her virginity. This was the trajectory for which he groomed her. We talked about that already. Um, the first experience was devoid of tenderness or affection. She was stripped down and made to shower. If you're lying about being a virgin or I get a disease from you, I'll kill you. Okay, so now we're moving into the full-blown abuser role here by threatening her. So, isolating her, not giving her a choice, grooming her, and now threatening her. So, uh-huh. So, and she said she felt her mind separate from her body. Disassociation. That's what happens with abuse. Uh, okay. So he's abusing her. All right, so it goes on to say she had a nervous breakdown while she was alone in New York, because of course she's going to feel an attachment to him. And the way he's talking to her, she's going to feel scared when she's alone, um, because he's building her up to the point where she's only going to feel safe when she's with him, even though he's taking advantage of her. She was suicidal. She feared confiding in her agents and reaching out for help because she was so ashamed. And she booked a ticket to go home. She flew back to Kansas, where her parents were living, and she never returned to New York. She was devastated with the realization that she was lured into and how she had been victimized. Yeah. Uh, the final contact between her and Mr. Epstein was where he tracked her parents' phone number in Kansas and tried to speak to her. Her mother grabbed the phone and told Mr. Epstein that she was calling the police before hanging up on him. Her career dwindled to nothing, taking a break from the modeling industry when clients like Italian Vogue and Victoria's Secret were requesting bookings constituted career suicide. Abuse will do that. She became chronically depressed. She was suicidal before her 18th birthday. She called the suicide hotline many times for her home. It's just heartbreaking, man. Holy crap. Um, In Kansas, a friend of hers had sent an email with the news that Epstein had been arrested for trafficking underage girls. She felt as if she had gone from being a supermodel to becoming an unsuspected prostitute. Her parents' warnings of what would become of her in New York had come to fruition. She fell prey to a child predator, Mr. Epstein, and it took her a decade to understand the gravity of what Epstein had done to her as a vulnerable young girl. And that's how they do it. They prey on the fact that these girls don't know any better and take advantage of them. Wow. Okay. That was a rough read. That yeah. I want to see what this other text is here. Okay. Oh my god, why is it so tiny? Uh, Ex scandal that undid him. All the justice that money can buy. The shocking true story of Jeffrey Epstein House oversight. So is this just talking about the book some more? That's what it looks like. It's just describing the pictures in the book. Oh, and then there's talking about Prince Andrew. Wonder, um, oh, I can't do Control F while I'm streaming apparently, or the text doesn't support that, or this particular kind of document doesn't support that. Um, all right then. So this is just all house oversight stuff by the looks of it. What's this? So this looks like yeah, this is court documents related to Ghislaine Maxwell. Defendant's response in opposition to plaintiff's omnibus motion in Lemine. Let's see. Okay. Stories and allegations concerning Dershowitz, foreign presidents, and world leaders are highly relevant and admissible. Meeting Bill Clinton at Jeffrey Epstein's private island twice. Well, Bill, sounds like you need a pair of handcuffs. Uh, FOIA responses and related materials are admissible. Louis Fria's testimony and report are admissible evidence. Who that is. Prince Andrew and Buckingham Palace's denial of plaintiff's claims are not offered for truth of the matter asserted. Well, I mean, I think Buckingham Palace's response by stripping Prince Andrew of all of his titles and money and all of land and all of that stuff. I think that's a pretty good response to the fact that he's in these files and was, canoodling with Epstein. I mean, he should be thrown in jail too. I don't know if they're actually going to do that because of who he is, but at minimum, he should absolutely, that's justified to remove all of that from him. Plaintiff cannot prohibit the use of words such as prostitute, which she will use to describe herself, or any other derogatory terms that describe her reputation. Plaintiff's drug use is relevant to her memory and lack of damages. Information regarding the plaintiff's criminal history is relevant and admissible evidence when character is an essential element of the claim. Okay, plaintiff's failure to pay her personal tax obligations is relevant to her character for truthfulness. Plaintiff's husband's domestic violence against her in March of 2015 is probative of other intervening causes of emotional distress and related damages. Plaintiff's lies about her age and the year she met Epstein must be exposed to the jury. All plaintiff's medical records are relevant to the plaintiff's damage claims. The parties agree to preclusion of all the documents and discussion of Jane Doe, uh, including the settlement of those claims. The Castle Edwards versus Dershowitz litigation is relevant and admissible. The transcript of the tape recording of Mr. Dershowitz's conversation with Rebecca Boleyn is admissible. Huh. Is that it? This is just, I don't know what this is. I don't see an actual response of anything. Just, okay. Let's look what this little one says. Um, this looks like it might be another email. Okay, from Epstein to Nicholas Ribas. It looks like an article of some sort. Oh, they're talking about Trump and his inauguration. Inauguration. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then more bad news for our friend. And this was sent 2019. Okay. What's this one? Filed maybe? I don't know. Okay. So this looks like a summons. Yeah, that's a summons. Miami-Dade. Okay. Plaintiffs Jean-Luc Brunel versus Jeffrey Epstein, Tyler McDonald, in Florida. The defendant is Epstein. A lawsuit has been filed against you. You have 20 calendar days after the summons is served to you to file a written response to attach complaint with the dirk of this court. A phone call will not protect you. Your written response, including the case number given above and the names of the parties, must be filed if you want the CODA to hear your side of case 8541. If you do not file your response in time, you may lose the case, and your wages, money, and property may thereafter be taken without further warning from the court. There are other legal requirements. You may want to call an attorney right away. If you do not know an attorney, you may call an attorney referral service or a legal aid office listed in the phone book. If you choose to file a written response yourself at the same time you file your written response with the clerk of the court, you must mail or take a copy of your written response to yada, yada, yada. Okay. All right. So this is basically telling him he's getting sued. And this is all in Spanish because I'm assuming that he had to be served in English and in Spanish. Amended verified complaint for legal and equitable relief of damages. The plaintiff, Jean-Luc Brunel, sues defendants Jeffrey Epstein, Tyler McDonald, and Tyler McDonald DBA for legal relief, equitable relief, and defamation, and states as follows. Venue is proper in Dade County, Florida, as defendants Tyler McDonald and Tyler McDonald DBA E.org do business in Dade County. Plaintiff Jean-Luc Brunel resides in Dade County, Florida. Yada, yada, yada. The causes of action and damages against Jeffrey Epstein accrued in Dade County, Florida, due to specific acts by Epstein there, and accordingly, venue is appropriate there. Okay, so it's just basically laying out what jurisdiction he's going to be sued under. Um, hmm. Plaintiffs lost multiple contacts and business in the modeling business as a direct result of Epstein's illegal actions. Several photographers will not work with MC2 due to the adverse publicity surrounding Epstein and his illegal activities, and the publicity falsely linking plaintiffs with those activities. See, I want to get to the stuff where it talks about Trump because there's a lot. There's a lot here, man. Holy cow. Let's go back and see. What is natives? I don't know what this is. It's obviously more stuff from the House Oversight. What's this? Welcome to office editing. Got it. I don't care about that right now. No idea what that is. I'm not up to speed on my legal jargon to know what the that is a dog with a Trump doll by the looks of it. The video. Dog.
Charlie,
Yeah,
ma chi è quello lì? Ma ti piace questo pupazzotto?
chewing on a Trump toy, and I'm assuming that's a Hillary toy. Hmm, okay, I don't know what relevance that has, but okay. Below is Jeffrey Epstein's action plan snapshot at campaign start. Note, the results reflect what was seen in all major city centers outside of New York City. Okay, is an American financier and science and education philanthropist. Okay. So I guess this is just, oh, I guess this is just a snapshot of a Google search when you pull up Epstein. The Duke of York's billionaire pedophile friend kept a secret journal described as the Holy Grail by lawyers. Oh my goodness. Billionaire pedophile goes 3. Hedge fund mogul Jeffrey Epstein becomes a free man today, 5 years after he was first accused of sexually abusing underage girls. The U.S. attorney who oversaw the hedge fund mogul's pedophile prosecution reveals exclusively to the Daily Beast. Wow, the pervert of Palm Beach is back in the news and is back to being described as a billionaire. Here's why he's not. So obviously he was Google searching himself, I guess. All right, let's go. Can I go back to the Google Drive? Boop. There we go. I love Google Drive, by the way. I use it every day at work, and I don't want boop. I don't want that. Let's see if there's anything else interesting. Let's go. Oh, these are all just more documents. Okay. It's so tiny. Okay, that's the end of an email. Okay. So, okay, so Trump is mentioned in this one. So this is originally from Wolf to Epstein. So I'm doing this Trump book for a pile of money, and with so far quite a bit of cooperation from them. DT called me the other day and spent 45 minutes on the phone ranting and raving about the media. Alarming. I wonder if you could introduce me to Tom Barrack, just to say I'm a journalist who you know and trust, and then I'll follow up with a description of the project that I'm doing. Also, I'd love a reintroduction to Kathy Rumler. I need some off-the-record perspective on White House procedures. Are you in NYC soon? Can you send me an email to forward to Tom? He's in the middle of some of the mess at the moment. Everyone lawyering up in Washington. I wonder why. When in NYC. Kathy agreed. Thanks. Any time to get together today? 12? Great. Okay. Interesting. All right. So this is a forwarded email to Darren Indike from Epstein. Or no, Darren sent it to Epstein. And then, okay. Thanks, Darren. Good news. I'm under the impression that checks will be exceptional. They will be more cumbersome to handle, and we will use mostly wires. Considering the time difference, my heavy travel, and my own propension to do things at night and on weekends, I would much prefer having an internet code and be able to organize everything online when I need to. When I use Audi, my US bank, they can do that, store the recurring beneficiaries and do wires in multiple currencies, but I'm not familiar with DB. Hmm. Also, about your point about bookkeeping is mitigated by the fact that in any case, I will also need to have someone keeping track of the receipts and inventory before shipping proofs to you. In any case, there will be a need for some work on my side, before final filing is done. On the other hand, is there a checks and balances control issue? There could be a cap to my writing powers, like the 10K we discussed. That would be absolutely fine for me if this is the intent. Please do let me know. We can also talk about it in Hawaii now, free after 2 p.m. your time. Oh, this is a whole email thread. Okay. There's 1 million in the bank account. Okay, latest from JE, which Jeffrey Epstein. Please let me know when account wire are active and how I can access the internet banking to start the ball. In fact, it has started at all the best. Wow. Yes, let's start. Yes, we are on. Sorry, with Trump around, it's been very crazy busy. Now, if we look at the dates of these emails, I mean, this is meaning that Trump was still canoodling with Jeffrey after being the president and after he was convicted, or not convicted, but, like, accused, and then things were dropped. So, Trump knew. Trump knew what was happening, and he was still hanging out with Epstein. The allegation was not at a pedophile party, it was at my house with me. To what wording would you suggest I change that? Pedophile party, what? Were they actually calling them that? Oh, that's what I read already. Privileged redacted. What's this? From Darren and Dyke. Dear Darren, I hope all is well. Can you let me know if the below modus operandi works for you? All the best. So then they're talking about, yeah, that's them talking about the 1 million in the bank account. This is bad. Crazy. Now Trump claims on wiretapping. Is he loco? Meeting today will let you know last night was a blast. That's from Deepak Chopra. Um, okay. Thomas Landon to Jeffrey. Okay. Trying to get you in with the massa crowd, maybe MAGA he meant. Some resistance though due to all the headlines controversy as you might expect. I tell them about your relationship with the Saudis, Gates, Trump crowd, but still doubts, working on it. Huh. Okay. So they're just talking about all of Trump's craziness here. I was in Toledo, Ohio yesterday drilling down on small business animal spirits. Amazing how bullish they are there for all of DJT's craziness. His ability to present himself as a small biz owner pissed off about the regulations, healthcare, anti-business sentiment in the White House was a brilliant stroke. They really dig him down there. Um, okay, what is this? This is space exploration. Okay. From Lawrence Krauss to Epstein. All shoe. This is not supporting science. It is all about the size of the rocket for him. All this will do is give him glory and not contribute to science. Well, if that doesn't sound like Trump, I don't know what does. Sorry, all show. He is a fucking showman, a carnival huckster. This and the military budget and healthcare are all show, no substance, just the biggest ever. For a guy with small hands. Well, we know who they're talking about. For a guy with small hands. Even Epstein from the grave is mocking Trump, which is fucking hilarious. I was never worried about space. I always knew he was enamored with human space exploration because it is a big and showy. I even wrote that in print clear early on. For him, that is science. It isn't for those of us who know. It is more bad news as far as I'm concerned because this big budget will decimate real science. 900 million cut in the Department of Education office for science will kill partial or particle physics and will end funding for me, for example. You told me you were worried about space, and I told you not to worry. He will decimate climate change and support. Yeah, well, we saw that in real time. Jeez Louise. Jeffrey, due to staffing issues, Customs cannot use North Ramp, only pre-clear in the main building. Trump is supposed to depart 4 p.m. Flight time. Oh, there's confirmation that Trump was on the plane. Trump was on the plane. Sent from my iPhone. Okay, so so that's the same thing. Okay, 2 p.m. heli pre-clear. Maybe he's using a helicopter, I guess. My goodness. There's so much here. So much here. I hate the way that they've posted the email threads though, because you're starting at because that's the way email threads are set up, right? And we do this at work where the most recent email is at the top. So, you kind of have to scroll back to get the full context of what's happening in the thread. Um, but this one's short, so that's good. Okay. So Jeffrey, fast growing media about science with over 25 million unique readers, would like to have an interview with you. Same topic, Trump's cut on science and your philanthropy. Would you be open to talk to him? Yes. Great. When is good? Are you coming to New York next week? Yes, happy to do in person. I can join too. I'm in NYC next week. Yes. Scheduled. Would you have 30 minutes? 1 hour before, after. We'll tell you some more ideas about your interviews and science support. Oh, this one is completely redacted from who it was sent from to Epstein. Okay. We'll start at the beginning of the thread. Your man did well. Congratulations. Things look very bad in the Gulf. My feeling Trump did not want to end it. What is your schedule in New York? How long will you be there? I will bring some Kuwaiti gifts, but not food. I will get Larson to call you. Tamem just called me. He wants to sit and talk breakthrough. See you in New York Thursday. Oh, typo. I think Trump cut the legs off your guy. He would like to take all of the credit. If there is a deal or seen to be strong on terror. Oh, okay. What is your shoe size if you don't mind me asking? Is this some sort of perverted question? 12 American. Are we meeting in New York? Of course. Well, please, when you have a minute, send me the date and time. I know the house by now. Ooh. You know the house by now. Why is that? When is good for you? Late Thursday? Okay. Hey, Habby. I'm in New York. The sooner we meet, the faster I get to be with my son on his first week in a new school. If you're busy, don't worry. I can wait until Thursday. Thanks again. It's funny how Trump is coming up so very often in these conversations that he's having with other people. Oh my God, this is a long one. Okay. Start at the bottom and then we move to the top. Oh, that was the same thread that we just read. Okay. Well, I think we've done enough deep diving through that. What do you think? What do you think? Just man, I don't know. I don't know, man. Like I have seen a lot of stuff, a lot of MAGA are kind of scrambling, and there's a lot of Republicans that will most likely try to distance themselves from anything to do with Trump. I mean, we've already see it from Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert. Actually, there was one other thing that I wanted to read about Boebert before we end tonight. Boebert. Yeah, I spelled Boebert wrong. Whoops. All right. All right. So, is this a video or is this a article? Okay. So, oh, this New York Times can bite my ass. I don't want to pay. So, basically, what I heard about Bobert is that Trump tried to invite Bobert over for like a dinner, which possibly could be the Situation Room meeting, to try and convince her to take her name off of supporting the release of the Epstein files. And she said no. And we all remember how big of a Trump supporter Boebert was. We all remember how big of a Trump supporter Mace and MTG is. But we're going to start to see more Republicans distancing themselves from Trump because being aligned with him is going to end up being political suicide for them. Um, and I have already been seeing predictions that what they're going to do is after the midterms in 2026, they're going to remove Trump from office and put in JD Vance. Because if the elections from last week are any precursor to what's going to happen in the midterms in November of next year, the Democrats are going to win out. We're already seeing people getting upset because we still don't have the ACA subsidies being extended. So people are going to start getting their notices for their 2026 premiums. And that's going to make a lot of people angry, a lot of Trump supporters very angry. So we're going to see support for Trump dwindle as more of this information comes out, more as the Epstein files are released. And people are going to be like, we want nothing to do with Trump. He is a sinking ship that we don't want anything to do with. So the predicted plan from the Republicans, now this isn't confirmed, this is just a prediction, is that they're going to remove Trump either shortly before the midterms or shortly after the midterms, because if the Democrats win the midterms, then they will have enough seats in Congress in order to impeach and remove him. And then the Republicans will instill Vance, and basically Trump will just kind of fade off into the background. It would be wonderful if he would end up in jail for his crimes. But if he survives that long, will be questionable. And then if JD Vance does become our 48th president, he will then have the power to pardon Trump, which is a very big possibility. So at this point, all we can really do is kind of sit and wait and see and cross our fingers um, that Trump gets what's coming to him. And anybody else that is associated with this. So Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew have been mentioned in these documents that are released. I mean, I hope that they slap a pair of handcuffs on Clinton and try him and throw him in jail if he's involved in this. So I mean, doesn't matter who you are, if you're a celebrity, Democrat, Republican, MAGA, or anybody in between. If you have been involved in this, in the trafficking of young girls, then you deserve to be behind bars. And Trump is included in that. Because as MAGA has said several times, no one is above the law and they need to be held accountable. Simple as that. But anyway, I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. We are at almost an hour. I didn't plan on streaming for that long, but here we are. And I will stream again tomorrow, hopefully. I don't have anything particularly planned. Life has been just really crazy busy. I am aiming to stream at least 30 minutes every night during the week. It's just sometimes things come up and I just don't have the time. Hello, my neighbor. Welcome. Thank you. uh, and we got a kick comment. Yay! um, but I am aiming to try and stream every night. But again, like things come up. Like last night, we were at the Gettysburg Library playing kids D&D for the evening. So on nights like that, when things come up, I don't have the time to stream. So I will try and stream as much as I possibly can. But for now, this is what we got. But thank you so much for watching. Talking about Epstein. Yes, um we went through the Google Doc and some of the documents that the Republicans released. I wish I could have visited the island. Um, yeah, that's pretty awful. I don't know why you would proudly announce something like that unless you were a troll. So you must be a troll or a bot. But yeah, that's disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself. Ugh, bot. Yeah, probably. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate you for being here, and I will see you again tomorrow. Have a good night.